Good Saturday afternoon. I'm Cory McGinnis. I'm Cory McGinnis. Get ready as this story continues to unfold. Check. The rain is coming down. It's nothing but just buckets of rain at this point. I want to swing around this way. There's more debris here actually on the ground. Well, it's a community gripped in frustration here in Talladega County because they have to deal with issues like this, but they also have to deal with a major blackout. But we do have several questions. We want to find out exactly the extent of the injuries. We want to find out exactly what happened. We want to know how large this threat was, how the call went out. Go ahead, Sherry.
Let me tell you, so we've just gotten this information in just before we came to you that there were at least four victims. The conditions of the victims are unknown at this time, that they got a call of shots fired near the food court inside the Galleria, that they are there talking to victims and gathering evidence, collecting whatever evidence they can. They also say that they don't know what led to the shooting or how many gunmen were involved. But again, four victims transported to local hospitals. And I know because you're there on the scene, we do have a crew at Children's of Alabama where there is a separate scene of police. And so I'm telling you this, hopefully when Chescaliba comes out that you can speak with him on this. But we have crews there. I wonder whether any Hoover police are there at that scene. But there are police officers outside the emergency room at Children's of Alabama, and a group of people have gathered there as well. But again, they don't know about the injuries or the extent of injuries, but at least four victims, they say.
Yeah, and right now this is pretty normal as far as them gathering information, making sure that they have all the details to address the media. We don't want to repeat a situation before where Hoover Police actually released the incorrect information. If you guys remember just a few years ago in reference to E.J. Bradford when he was gunned down inside of the mall. So they want to make sure that they're dotting their I's and that they're crossing their T's.
And that, Cory, is why
this is an active shooter situation here at River Chase Galleria here behind me. To take a look at the scene, there's a lot of activity going on right now. We have the paramedics here, we have the firefighters, and we have police. We have confirmed that this was an active shooter inside. There's a lot of people actually walking away at this point. Earlier, they were actually running away. I got the chance to speak with 3 or 4 folks on our Facebook Live who were very frightened, extremely frightened, because they just, they're shopping. It's Black Friday. And they said that there was a shooter inside. Now, we have not yet confirmed if anyone has died at this moment, at this point. We haven't talked to Hoover Police or Jefferson County on camera right now. So we're waiting for this situation to die down a little bit until we actually get official sound to see, just to make sure that everyone's okay. But it's very, very active right now. Police are on the scene, fire crews are on the scene, and there's still a lot of people that are kind of leaving the area. Traffic out here is a nightmare at this point. But again, just look at all the folks that are kind of standing around right here in front of Belk. We heard, again, this is not confirmed, but we'd heard that this happened around Old Navy. But right now we're standing in the middle of Belk and JCPenney, which is the majority of the traffic kind of coming in and out right now. We're not sure if they've evacuated everyone inside the mall, but again, very active situation. A lot of frightened people at this moment. Once we get more information, we will make sure that we bring it back to you. But right now we're live in Hoover tonight. Cory McGinnis, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on. Get ready for the return of, I think I did it right, Baby Shark. The popular toddler anthem debuts as a cereal. Wow, pretty interesting, right? I mean, that's all you can say is wow. I mean,
the Shebas were aggressive.
I know, right? Last week it was a cat cafe, and now we have the hedge. I mean, all types of
the capybaras.
Right. Snakes.
I like the concept, but there's some that seem okay, and some that seem like, I don't know if I do that.
A little interesting, kind of out there a little bit.
Maybe not the snakes.
I know, right? Well, these clouds are pretty dark here in Anniston. Right now, family members of Jaquez Hall are all leaning on each other as they cope with the news of his death. Hall died after being shot near Alabama State University earlier this week. Now, authorities have not said if anyone was specifically targeted in the shooting or if the suspect had previously made any threats. 4 injured victims remain hospitalized. Absolutely, but we are going to experience some uncomfortable days, I guess, in the future. Thank God for Station AC.
Yeah.
Dancers from across the country getting in the Christmas spirit here in Birmingham. That's all the time we have, but be sure to join us tonight For CBS 42 News at 10, more coverage you can count on 24 hours a day online on our CBS 42 News app. You guys have a great evening. Stay cool.
My history goes back to 1965.
David Pettis was just a junior at Berkeley when the Bloody Sunday March etched his family name into civil rights history.
Edmund Pettis' great uncle.
And now he's calling for the Steel Arch Bridge, named after the Confederate general and Ku Klux Klan leader, be removed and renamed the Bloody Sunday Bridge after tuning into a virtual town hall meeting discussing renaming the bridge. The long-standing debate over the name has been growing in recent weeks since the passing of John Lewis, some calling for the bridge to be renamed after the civil rights icon.
I don't see much value in changing one name of a human being for another. I think what we ought to be doing is honoring what happened there.
Pettis says changing the name to the Bloody Sunday Bridge shows we can learn from our mistakes in the past, educating future generations. But such a change is not the sudden impulse for some who marched and shed their blood that Sunday.
I still have the scar over my right eye where I received 7 stitches. And I have a knot in the back of my head where I received 28 stitches.
Linda Laurie was just 14 and doesn't want the bridge renamed. She says if the name changes, it's whitewashing our history.
If it had not been for Confederate history, there would have been no need for voting rights or civil rights history. We changed the name that day.
We're marching today to dramatize to the nation, dramatize to the world.
And from Selma to Washington, John Lewis's determination never changed.
You see something that is not right, not just, not fair, you have a moral obligation to say something, to do something.
Something this great-great-great-nephew who carries this name is trying to accomplish.
Good evening. Birmingham police are still searching for the person or people responsible for shooting in broad daylight at a plaza in Roebuck. Tonight I got the chance to speak with one business owner who tells me that he's gripped with fear and also says that he was this close to death.
The fear very sometimes scared.
It was in this moment when owner of beauty supply shop Albert Sheen experiences panic after multiple rounds of bullets were fired in the shopping complex in Roebuck, several hitting his Lexus RX 350.
See here, maybe 3 or 4, and here 2.
Oh, I didn't see those 2 down there. Okay.
Yeah, at least 6 or 7 shot in my car.
Wow.
Sheen has owned the beauty shop for 7 years and says he's thinking of relocating his business because of the crime.
One of the blenders come out here.
Just last week, a shooting in the same parking lot took place. Other shoppers continue their routine.
It makes no sense to me.
But with caution, like Valton Johnson, who had to handle business with the Postal Service.
Young children are out here. The post office is here. People are having retail challenges already because of this coronavirus. And then you're going to add this foolishness on top of it?
Birmingham police say an off-duty officer notified them about multiple rounds fired at the shopping complex. When police arrived, they found shell casings scattered.
Multiple businesses were shot into as well as multiple vehicles.
Sergeant Rod Malden says one person was sent to St. Vincent's Hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
We believe that altercation ensued somewhere in the parking lot before our shots rang out.
But it's unclear if the person taken to the hospital was involved in the shooting. Malden adds that one person was hurt from shattered glass. And as the persistent sound of hammering and repairing continue around the plaza, Sheen is left timid about the crime and violence in the area, yet thankful that him and his wife weren't inside the car when gunfire broke out.
Well, luckily nobody was in it.
No.
The Birmingham police say it's unclear how many people were involved with this shooting, and they're asking for the public's help. So if you have any information that can aid in this case, you're encouraged to call the Birmingham Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 254-7777. In downtown Birmingham tonight, Cory McGinnis, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
Cory, thank you.
You have nothing to say to those folks that do support.
I talk to them people support me every day.
I know they have.
To the parents that have been sitting and waiting patiently.
We will be making announcements later in the week.
What message do you have for Hoover Police Department?
That black people can be legal gun owners too.
How was he able to escape if an officer if there were eyes on him?
He's minimum, you see, they can be out of sight for 30 minutes.